Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. Real people doing real deals in real estate and no fake gurus allowed. We bring you the best and the most real estate investors in the space. They'll be showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly of real estate investing. Like, share, subscribe, get notified. It's the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast.
Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. And today we have a repeat. The first time we did this on Zoom, on a Zoom call, it was actually in Spanish. But today we're going to go about it in English. So, Armando, thank you for coming in. Flew in from Washington, D.C., actually the DMV area, Maryland, Washington, Virginia, right?
Yes, that's right.
And Armando has been a real estate investor for only a couple of years. But, man, I tell you what, this guy's got a lot of energy. He's been closing on big deals. Him and his team has been making some big moves. So, anyhow, who is Armando, man? Where are you from?
Man, thank you, man. I just want to thank you for having me over here. You know, always grateful, to be learning from the best. So you guys hit up Ricardo Rosales. He's giving us so much game while we're here. But who is Armando Olivares? Armando Olivares is an immigrant who came here when he was 13 years old. I'm original from Lima, Peru. That's where I grew up in South America. My parents are from Peru. We moved here when I was kind of like 13 years old. Yep. And that's how my life in America started.
Right. Okay. So you came from Peru, 13 years old. You come with your parents? How did that work?
So yeah, when I was 13 years old, my parents, my dad called and he was like, "Hey, it's time for you to come to America," and I just pretty much got my bag and came to America. Later on, find out that I actually crossed the border to come here to America. Just like many immigrants, like they do that, just to seek for their dream.
So how do you come? An airplane or?
Yeah, I came with an airplane to I think it was Salvador. At the time. I was Salvador, and then, I was a kid, so I was just pretty much following people, where they were going. And it was just kind of for me, it was just a journey, I saw, for me, it was the only way to come here, I was very naive when I was 13 years old, so,
Yeah, you didn't know any better.
Yeah, I didn't know any better, so I was like, I'm going to America, and, I guess that's the way it takes to go to America,
Right.
But it was funny because, later on when I started having, communication with other people, I was like, hey, there was a topic that was how you came to America, and I started sharing about how I came to America, and people was like, "Oh, it sounds like you crossed the border," and then I found out that it was illegal.
Okay, so you crossed the border. Did you walk or where do you come from?
It was it was I think we took, it was just mostly buses and trains. It was buses, trains, and we barely walk anything. I'll have to be honest. It was mainly buses.
So what part of the U.S. do you come from? Texas or California?
Yeah, I came from Texas, Houston, and then from that point on, I think, from Houston, we took a bus to D.C. That's where my family's at, and, that's where I met up my dad after 7 years.
Wow, okay. So, all right. So you came here, you crossed the border, and now you got the American dream. Because you are investing in real estate, you're buying properties, you're selling properties. But before we got there, you used to be in the banking industry, right?
Correct.
How do you end up there being a banker?
I mean, before I was a banker, I was working in the pizza industry. And, man, I wanted a change, I wanted a change. So, I was like, man, I want to work from 9 to 5. So, I was dreaming from having the 9 to 5 job, So
hey, no, for a lot of people, that's actually a dream.
Yeah.
To be able to work in an office, AC, you're not getting dirty or pizza, smelly like pizza all day long, right?
Yeah.
What were you doing in the pizza industry?
I was a store manager at the time.
Okay.
But I was getting there, I was working 14, 15 hours a day, no vacations.
What pizza?
I work at Pizza Hut. I work at every Pizza Hut. I work at Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Papa John's.
Oh, yeah? So which one you like best?
I like Papa John's. I think it has better flavor, so shout out to them.
All right. So So I'm pretty sure you did everything from deliveries all the way to the store manager, right?
Yeah.
So what did you learn from the pizza industry that you apply today?
I think it's about sales, like, when I took, I was 18 years old and I was giving a store. And one of the things that I did very quick was I scale up the store. So one of the things that I always learned was it's a very we're living a customer-driven environment. So from the very early age, I understood that everything was about relationship. So like when I was doing sales, I would always introduce, hey, we like an extra Coke or an extra Pepsi. We like an extra cinnamon. Our cinnamons are very delicious, and every client that's buying it, they're giving it great feedbacks. So always upselling. Always upselling,
Right.
and I was one of the persons that will never shut down the phone.
Right.
Like from 5 to 8, if you go to a pizza place, that phones will never stop ringing, like nonstop. Pizzas are coming out of the oven. You gotta make pizzas, so it really helped me to work under like a lot of pressure. And I was one of the guys that would be like, don't ever stop talking to clients. Don't ever stop. Taking orders. My cook would like, we gotta stop taking orders and never stop. And I think that was one of the things. It was a very sales driven, very customer driven.
And so how many pizzas can you make in one day?
Oh man, I don't know. I was making a lot.
You never counted them?
I never really counted it, but I mean the most order, because we used to measure our days by orders, right? And then so the most order that I done through a day has to be like 1,000. It was
1,000 orders.
1,000 tickets.
So so if you did 1,000 and the average order was what, like $20,000, $20?
Yeah.
$20, so that was 20 grand.
Yeah, that was a 20 grand
Day.
That was that, and if I'm not mistaken, that was a Super Bowl. Cause Super Bowl days are
Yes, they're crazy.
So yeah, that was probably one of the busiest day in my life.
Wow. And okay, so when did you leave the pizza industry?
Okay, so I wanted to wear a tie. So I used to go to this bank place where I was depositing my money, and the manager one day approached me and she was like, "Man, I like your smile. I want you to come work for us." That was a PNC bank, and I got hired as a teller. I worked there, and I was very happy, But before I started working as a teller, I needed to tell my boss at the pizza place that I was no longer gonna
Work in the pizza place.
work in the pizza place, because it would be I wouldn't be committed to the time. So he got really upset because he thought I had a career with him. I had a good things going on for them, but so I got demoted, obviously, because I couldn't stay as a store manager, and I became like a driver. Okay. So I was driving for Pizza Hut, and I was working as a teller at PNC Bank,
Okay.
just to be able to kind of fulfill my dream at the time, which was like working 9 to 5,
Wear the suit.
and wear the suit, have the weekends off, actually have planned vacation. So for a moment I thought that was it. For a moment I thought I was like kind of like, damn, I'm actually going to an office. I'm actually wearing an, like I actually know what time I'm gonna get off, and so it was very exciting.
Yeah, you can plan your day better, basically. In the pizza, it was hustle, and working long hours. Here, you didn't have to work many as long hours. You close bank at what, 5 or 6?
Yeah,
And then you're done. And now you can have a normal life.
exactly.
Okay. And what year was this that you got in the banking industry?
So it was like 2000. It was 2013. I was 23 years old. I got into the banking industry, and I have always been a very competitive person in terms of myself. So like I always like to master where I'm getting into. And one of the things that I'm very good at is I'm very good at mastering things in a very short time of period. And so 6 months down the road, I became a banker. And I became a top producer, where I was working at PNC Bank, and I was making $70,000. My commission and everything was about $70,000. I was 23 years old. I thought I was like living the life, I had a paid vacation. For a moment, I thought like that was everything, It was fulfilling my lifestyle at the moment, so it was pretty good, But at the end of the day, I knew that I wanted to be my own boss. I knew that I have so many skills, and I knew that my mind was in a different way than many people. So I was always looking to do something, but at the time I wasn't really kind of like I wasn't really sure about what to do, you know. So I was just kind of sticking to the bank, you know. So like after a few years, I got handed an opportunity to be a leader in Citibank. You know, I had an opportunity to become a branch manager and actually start leading teams. You know, like a sales teams. You know, and I was it was a really good move towards my career because it helped me to be a leader. You know, like I was in my branch was. Running a very very low production loans. It was very low on revenue and everything. You know, when I took over that branch, you know, my branch went like crazy. You know, it was top performance. I was recognized nationwide. I had that team that was the most engaged, and overall, you know, one of the things that I really learned was about how to be a leader, how to really delegate, and just out of everything, how to really run a business, you know. So and how to build relationship. Like I'm very strong on how to build relationship, you know. And I was able to bring a lot of money to the bank. Like one of the things that I'm very good is about putting trust, people putting trust on me, you know. So when it comes to like OPM or all these things, you know, like I have a lot of money, whereas for other people becomes like a problem, you know. So at Citibank, I did pretty well in 2019, 2020, and and then you know I was making 120,000, you know, with my salary and commission, you know, and I was still living paycheck to paycheck. You know, it was crazy because I was like I'm making more than six figures, but I'm still in debt. I was in debt, in a lot of money debt, like 70,000 worth of debt, and I was still living paycheck to paycheck. You know, and so one of the things that I realized is like, man, I need to start doing something else because otherwise, you know, now I'm about to be. I'm about to be 29 years old. I'm gonna be 30 next thing you know, and I'm in 70,000 worth of debt. I have two kids. You know, my beautiful wife. Like I have to do something different. Otherwise, time is gonna go, and as the month go, my debt was increasing instead of my debt going down. My debt was like getting bigger and bigger each month, and I was pretty much I was in a survival mode, and so like when I turned 29, you know, I gave up something in life, which was alcohol. You know, I gave up alcohol. You know, I don't really drink alcohol anymore, and then I started doing self development. So I started finding a lot of answers that I was asking and that I was seeking. You know, so for a period of time, like I did a lot of morning routine. So I had a very strong morning routine. You know, I started YouTubing what millionaires people do in the morning. I started like video. I got like really focused into why do people really wake up at 4 a.m. You know, and I started kind of studying the reason why they start doing it. And
So what is better, 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.?
Well, I don't know, man. You know, like
Because you see, I'm the same way. I watch that stuff, right? And then why you need to wake up at 5, and they tell you the
Yeah.
routines, right? And then there's another one that's why you need to wake up at 4. It's just a matter of time before somebody comes and says why you need to wake up at 3. You know what I'm saying?
I got somebody say two already.
Exactly. So what's your morning routine like?
So my morning routine, which is like wake up. For the most part, I try to wake up at 4:30. I try to have a very. I like to do.
Are you a morning guy or an evening
I'm
guy?
a morning guy.
You're a morning guy. So
Yeah.
for you, it's easy
Yeah.
to get up at 4:30.
I mean, it wasn't easy. It was.
Well,
but it was. I mean,
well, that's the thing. Like, if you naturally wake up at 4:30 or 5, you're a morning guy.
yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? Like, you wake up at that time regardless. Like, but if there's people that they stay up late, and that's when they're productive. Like in the evening. Like, I got a friend, Keon. He stays up late. You know, he's a night owl. Like, he can work until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when he's going to sleep.
Yeah.
So where do you find yourself?
I find myself like, I mean, you know, it's during the morning, and then I have a saying, you know, like there's a reason why in the morning you have like very strong vibe. I feel like once the sun is coming out, it's coming with a lot of energy. So I feel like, you know, there used to be a lot of rituals back in the day when the sun will come out, they will be there, you know, just to, and that's why like the birds sing, you know, birds sings in the morning, they don't sing at night, you know. So then I feel like with everything going on in the morning, like it gives you a lot of peace. It gives you, it clears your mind, and I feel like it helps you get ready. So you know, like the typical person or that person that I used to be back before is like, man, I woke up and I was like, I gotta go to work. Like I'm always everything in a rush, you know, everything in so much rush.
You're late. You're always late.
I'm always late. I'm going like nowadays it's like everything is just like, you know, like as long as my morning routine is like very, very strong, then my days, like it's easy.
So how many hours do you apply towards your morning routine?
I like to do like 2 hours.
Okay, and what do you do in those 2 hours?
So like the first thing that I like to do is, I pray. I pray. I do get on my knees and I ask Him to give me the wisdom that I need to have and to give me more confidence about myself, and to let all these negative feelings that I have to just take it away from me and to take
Right.
away all the doubts,
Right.
And the next thing that I do is like I like to go to the gym, really quick, run 2 miles, and then I like to, come back home, shower. Then I'll be writing my goals. I write my goals every single day,
How many times?
every day, sometimes twice.
So
Sometimes,
so Nick Perry,
yeah,
that's my buddy. He writes them 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
Yeah, and he told me that when he found out, like when he started writing his goals 3 times a day, he started accomplishing a lot more, and he started hitting his goals quicker. So for you guys to take notes, write your goals 3 times a day, not just once.
Yeah, three
So,
times.
but you're doing it twice already.
Yeah.
So what you do, whatever serves you, right? So
Yeah, no, the more the better, because it's kind of like you're holding yourself accountable, and if you write it, it's gonna happen. So that's the main thing that I say. So like I write my goals, then I like to listen. Like I do Audible. I'm trying to read books. I haven't.
you have to read. It's different. You see, I have a bunch of books, right? Dude, I hate reading. I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you. Every time I see a book, I say, I gotta. It's like it weighs 500 pounds. But once I pick it up and I go through 10 pages, I'm good. So it's just getting there. But when you read a book, your subconscious mind is rewired a different way than when you listen to it. Especially if you're not a reader, because now you're really forcing yourself to focus on the book. You see, when you're listening, this is what happens. Your phone rings, or a notification pops up on your phone and you get distracted. Or if you're driving and you're listening to audio, which I do, I listen to audibles on my car. And you're driving and you see something, you get distracted when you know. So in reality, you're not really paying attention to what is being said on the book. Sometimes you gotta rewind and say, man, what did he say? And you go back, right? But when you read it, you literally have no other option but to pay attention. And your mind starts playing tricks on you. You start thinking about that one thing that you need to accomplish. Like maybe I need to send a wire, or I need to send CD an email, or I need to talk to somebody, right? But because you're reading, you refocus right away and you stay on track. So that's my what I take from reading. That's why I like it. I like it better for rewiring my brain, because we all need it. We all have behaviors that are self-sabotage, and the only way to change that, or one of the main ways to change that, is by reading, doing reading. So you do 2 hours in the morning, and that's normally when you're home. But when you're on the road, like right now you're traveling, are you still doing your morning routine?
Okay, so today we didn't do it, but yesterday we did it.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So like we're trying to see how we can build, in a scenario to make sure that I don't ever miss my morning routine.
It's hard, man. Like
Yeah.
especially when you're out on the road and you are networking, and you go to bed late
Yeah.
because you're hanging out late with people or whatever. But if you're real disciplined, something I picked up from Brad Lee when he came to our event. That man is disciplined, man. He was in bed early. Like we went to go and party and stuff, and he's like, no, man,
I'm staying home.
I'm staying in the hotel. I gotta perform tomorrow. And he was in bed early, and he gets up early and does his morning routine. So that's a challenge for many of us, is to be that disciplined,
Yeah, no, 100%. So, yeah, so that's pretty much, I feel like, part of the big success that came in my life. More than the business, it was really about finding confidence in myself and having a lot of faith, having a lot of faith in the process. And just that, as long as you do the work, as long as you come and, put the word, then everything else is going to work out,
Yeah.
So, I'm a very person that takes a lot of action, sometimes for my own good, sometimes it does, play some faults. But for the most part, what I like to say is it has helped me make more money than it has helped me lose money,
Yeah.
because I have lost money too,
We all have.
but the same way is like, I don't lose faith in the process, I just learn from it. I'm a person that I'm a good learner. I'm a good listener. In fact, if I'm gonna be in a table and I have to be the one that's gonna be quiet, I'm probably gonna be the one that's gonna be the quietest one. Because for me, I want to listen. I have a lot to learn. I have to before I start putting out my opinions. And that's one of the biggest things that has helped me also develop a lot. Because I listen to a lot. A lot of people like to give opinions right away, and there is nothing wrong with that. Everybody's opinion does count at the end of the day. But for me, what's more important is what am I going to learn from, like, let's say if 12 people in the table, what am I going to learn from all these 11 people? There is something that I want to pick up from all of them and learn something from them. That's like my main focus when I'm entering into like a big room of conversations, What am I going to learn from them? How can I bring value to their business life, And just network, network with everybody.
That's good. So how do you find out about real estate investing?
Man, so like I was doing self-development, and 3 weeks later on, 3 weeks went by, and then I was laying down in my bed, and somebody posted a deal in Facebook, right? Somebody posted a deal, and I asked this guy, what is he doing? And he's like, hey, I'm trying to sell the house. And I asked him if he was a real estate agent. And he said, no, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm a wholesaler, right? And then at that moment, it was like something just switched in my mind, like, because I used to work in the banking industry, and I was very heavy in lending parts. So, like, I underwrote a lot of the loans, Like, my folders were so clean that my mortgage officer would literally be like, okay, approve, My folders got, like, to be very clean. So I understand appraisal process because, like, the appraisal process, like, we appeal so many appraisals before. I understood about all the lending products, understood about the title thing. Understand everything about the deeds, every deed that there is out there, I know for it, we used to like claim deeds and do things about it, So like I knew everything besides how to make money from it. And then when this guy told me about how can I make money or how he was making money from it, it kind of like was a switch in my mind, So like right after I learned that, I asked the guy and I was like, hey, I see that you have this deal, like I was like, I think I think I said this, I think I can buy it, Like I didn't even know why I said that, I was like, I don't have the money, I don't have anything, I don't even know anything, So he came, he showed me the deal, and it wasn't, and then we talked about it. And I remember being inside the house, and this guy asking me, do you know what's the ARV, And then I didn't even know, I didn't know about the terms, a lot about the terms. So I asked him, like, where is the ARV in the house, Me thinking like the ARV was like the AC unit or something like that. So this guy looked at me. He's like, man, you're full of, crap, man. Like, you made me waste my time and this and that. And he's actually a big follower of mine now.
That's good. That's good.
But, but I told him, I'm a very sincere. I was like, look, man, like, I'm new to the game. I just want somebody to teach me. So he kind of like, he's like, YouTube it, Google it, and learn from it, So I did that, I did that, but I was like, okay, so like I got a few things that I learned from that. From me looking stupid, because I look stupid.
Yeah.
And then I literally, that same night, as I was going home, I was like scrolling on Facebook again, like trying to find another deal. And I went like that for like 7 times. Like literally, I went to a house, it wasn't a deal. I went to a house, it wasn't a deal. I didn't even know. Like by the third house that I was going to see it, I was now bringing a buyer to the third house that I was going to see it. Because now I understand a little bit about how things go, how wholesaler will go in. They want to make sure there is no buyer there, So I kind of like got a hang of it, like after the third house I was gonna see. So I bring my buyer to the fourth house. It was in a house, and she was like, man, I want to put an offer. And I was like, okay, like I got excited. I was like, okay, so what do I do now? Like, what do I like? I didn't even know like there was an assignment contract. I didn't even know like I didn't know anything. All I knew was like she said she wants to put an offer, and that guy has the house, right? And then so I went to him and I was like, hey, I see that you want 140 for the house. My buyer wants to give you 140. I was just gonna make 5,000 because I offered her at 145. And then he was like, all right, write it down. Right? So like I didn't know what to do, So like I literally wrote it down, like a Microsoft. Like I wrote it down, like with my own words and all that,
Why didn't you find it on YouTube?
I don't know,
like how do I sign a contract? I'm pretty sure there's 500 videos in there on how to do that.
I don't know what went to my mind, Like at the moment I was like, I I need something like right now, you know, like right now. So like I type it in, and then I put that she was gonna pay me $5,000. And then when he looked at that, so like she signed, I signed, I sent it to him, and then he was like, he called me, he's like, hey, I didn't know you were gonna make $5,000 of this deal, and I was like, I don't know, like you said you want 140, we're giving you 140, I'm just charging my fee to her, and then he was like, oh, I didn't know that, you know, he was like, give me a day, so I was like, okay, so I gave this guy a day. He literally came back to me, he's like, look, I have an offer at 145, you know, like I don't know what to tell you. He's like, if you want to, you know, maybe I can give you $500, you know. And I looked at him, I got like really upset, and I was like, look, man, like, you know, this is not good business, you know, like I know I've done business before, this is just not good business, you know. And but that's fine, you know, there's nothing wrong. Look, like I'd rather not do any business. So like I broke that deal down, and I felt guilty because I was like, man, I'm after my best interest, but not my best buyer interest, you know. So I felt really horrible, but I was upset. So I told my buyer, like, I was like, hey, something went down, you know, but I got you a house. Don't worry about it. So like, literally after that, like I went back to Facebook. I started scrolling houses. Like I was like, man, I need to find a house. You know, we were gonna meet up with them, with the buyers, and I was like, hey, like that deal will fall through, but I have two more deals. I told them that, but I really didn't have any deals going on for myself. Back to Facebook. I grabbed two deals, and we went to see the two deals, and then she liked it. She liked one house, and the same thing, you know, like I added my fee, $5,000, and I sent it in, you know. And this time, this guy took it, you know. He took it, and I was like, fuck, like I'm gonna make $5,000. It was the best, man. It was the best feeling, you know. So that's how I made my first deal. You know, it was $5,000.
Good deal, man. So how many deals have you done since then?
So far, you know, I was counting my deal. We're like at 88 deals. You know, like since I started my career as a wholesaler, so we're at 88 deals right now. We are currently flipping at the same time we're flipping 10 houses too. You know.
Okay.
So we're doing multiple things in the wholesaling business. You know, more than just wholesaling. You know.
Yeah, you're buying and fixing and flipping. You're looking for rentals as well, and you're wholesaling. So, um, what's the future for you? What does it look like? What do you want to do in the future?
Man, the future for us is like really bright. You know, I'm very excited about what's next for us because I feel like you know, I have God on my side. I feel like I have my family on my side, and I feel like I have good team on my side. And now my mind is like crazy right now. What's next for us is pretty much be in every state possible, making sure that everybody does know about our story and just inspire people, you know. I feel like I want to be a bigger servant to the world, you know, to do two things. You know, I feel like we're here to lift other people out. Like, you know, it took me 29 years to find out about this information. And you know, I wasn't really, I don't know if there was no information back then. I'm sure there was, you know, there was a lot of things going on, but for some odd reason, I wasn't looking at the right place, you know. So my goal is to like, how do I touch people like myself, where they're not looking at the right place and they're asking for questions, you know. They're asking, you know. There's a lot of immigrants. There's a lot of, you know, black people in the community. There's a lot of young people that are coming out, and you know, the college thing is already kind of dying. You know, people are realizing that I don't have to go to college to fulfill my dream. You know, going to college is only gonna really fulfill somebody else's dream, you know. So you can really honestly do this real estate business with no money, you know. All you gotta do is just take a lot of actions, you know, be around the right people,
Be resourceful.
and be resourceful, you know.
Be resourceful. So, well, I always say the no money thing is that only is gonna take you so far, right? Um, and I want to be clear, guys. When Armando says with no money, is that it really requires no money for you to do it, but you gotta find the money somewhere. Okay, you're gonna have to find earnest money. You're gonna have to find a buyer, and that's where your money is. You're gonna have to find the property. That's where your money is, right? When you buy, you know, if you're buying at a discount, then you're able to make a profit. So the no money thing is more of a, you don't have to have $100,000 in the bank to go do a deal. If you're resourceful, like you did, like you went on Facebook, you found these properties, and then you went and found another buyer, and you marry the two, and you make a $5,000 spread. Boom, perfect. That was being resourceful. That's how you found your money. You found your money from that end buyer, and you found that money from that property that the guy had on the contract or the person was selling, right? So keep in mind, you're still going to have to invest. You're investing in yourself. You told me that you had different coaches for many different things. So it's going to require money for you to grow, okay? You're going to have to invest in yourself. You're going to have to hire a mentor. You're going to have to, seek out people that are doing what you want to do so you can get there faster. So the future for you is to help other people out, right? Show them the way, maybe inspire them, and so they can get in this business and change their life. I think college, in my opinion, is not for everybody. It wasn't for me. I didn't care for it. But my daughter wanted to go to college for some reason, and she's doing well. Is it dying? I doubt it. The society is built for that. We are operating in a 1900s school, or design. Like the education was designed back in the 1900s. Who was it designed for? Workers, right? So if you look at a school today, university, the progression, like the whole is to prepare a worker to go to work. So for college to die and universities and things like that, there has to be a major shift on how we're educating people. I think we're far from there, but you're right. I mean, you don't need to go to college to educate yourself. You can educate yourself by hiring mentors, by YouTube University, or things that you actually like doing. Like, you found out you like real estate. You didn't even know real estate was around, right? And then you went and educated yourself on it, and you took action, and now, boom, here you are. But man, it's going to take major efforts to change the way, the school system is designed, and it's designed to pump out workers. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And all the major corporations, government, they want to keep schools alive. Otherwise, how do they get workers? How do they get people that are going to go and fulfill those roles? Now, guys like you that figured out that there is a better way, and you are able to take the chance on yourself and bet on yourself and say, you know what, man, this route is not for me. I'm going to go and explore this entrepreneurship world that's out there, are the ones that end up making it big. But I still want to hire people that are college educated, right? Because they want to work, they want a structure, they want a salary. That's what everybody's framed for, education-wise. Structures, like what you wanted to do when you went to the bank.
Yeah.
Right? You wanted a structure, a good pay, AC, wear that tie. You knew you were coming in at 8 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 6, or whatever the schedule was. There was a structure there. Not everybody is able to function like you and I outside of a structure, where sometimes you don't know when the next paycheck is coming, right? Yeah. Or if a deal falls off, and man, you already spent that money before you even got it. Most people do, right? Like, we had a deal fall out, $50,000, and I mean, it sucks, but it's what happened, right? And for many people, that would be a life-changing deal. Like if they're able to collect 50 grand on one deal, that's 1 year's salary, right? Even teachers in school, that's what they make in a year. You were making, what, $70,000 at the bank, and then you ended up making more once you became a branch manager. But let's say you're making $150,000 a month, a year in the bank. In real estate, it's possible to do that every month.
Yeah. If
you really, really get yourself out there and apply yourself and build a good team that's behind you. So anyhow, guys, that I just went off a tangent, but Armando said something that caught my interest, which was education. And I agree with you. Like, I even told my daughter when she was going to go to college, just like, you really want to go to college? Like, why are you going to do that to yourself? And she's like, no, I want to study music. And I said, okay, perfect. If you're into that, then by all means, right? So 88 deals. You've made over $1 million, I guess. from those 88 deals plus the flips. I saw a big check one time you posted that was like 300 and some $1,000. What was that from? Where did that come from?
Well, that was actually from one of my flips, you know.
So you flipped the house?
Yeah, I flipped the house. You know, I didn't make 300,000. That's what I got.
That's what you collected.
Yeah. I made 130,000.
Okay.
Out of that.
And the other 130, the other half.
That's what I put on cash, you know.
Okay, so you got in with 100 and some thousand to get on the deal.
So one of the things that I have done different is that I'm a very humble person, and I believe on delaying gratifications to the 100, you know. And I also believe in real estate. Like, I'm a person that will look into a house and really like see how am I gonna.
This is why I like Armando so much. This is the GOAT time. You see that? That what you just said, Armando, delaying gratification. Most people cannot do that. As soon as they get a check, they gotta go spend it on something. They gotta go buy a watch, or get a car, or get a bigger house. And by the way, I used to be that guy. I used to be like, as soon as I got a win, I had to go celebrate the win by getting something, right? But that's very smart, delaying gratification, because that allows you to put money away. It allows you to continue with the same lifestyle you have. You were telling me about you were driving a 2013 Honda Accord. That's an overdue gratification that you haven't, upgraded on. You could be very well driving a Mercedes-Benz today, brand new, top of the line, 2022, not even the 21, right? But you chose to go and drive a vehicle that it serves a purpose for you. But it's not that you don't have the money, it's that is the value of that vehicle gonna give me a return today for me? On your case, the answer for you right now is no. But that doesn't mean you're not gonna go upgrade later on, right?
Correct.
So delaying gratification, I like that. To achieve your dreams quicker. I started applying that a lot more in the last 2 years. That's actually 2 or 3 years. Like literally every penny I get, it goes back in the business, back in the business, back in the business, back in the business. As opposed my wife was car shopping yesterday, and I asked her, I said, hey, what do you want? Do you want I like the Highlander because it's a family vehicle. 8 of us can fit there, right? It's a good vehicle to travel. She wanted the Mercedes, but then she went to look at another one. And what she told me? She said, well, we're going to Florida right now. So you know what? Let's not buy it yet. Let's buy it when we come back a month from now. Why are you going to make an extra payment on that vehicle? I said, well, you're going to pay for it anyways. But she's delaying gratification. Yeah. And we had to learn how to do that because for many years, we were living large. And not large because I wasn't driving Ferraris or anything like that. But, we had a pretty good lifestyle. And now I can live off $5,000 comfortable a month. How many people can do that? Especially in our real estate business. I see my friends. I see where they live. I see the houses, the cars they drive. But I have different goals. I'm pretty sure you have. What are some of your goals financial wise so you can start getting some of that gratification?
So my goal before I start buying anything for myself is to have 100 rentals. So I wanna first run a very strong rental portfolio, So I'm a person that believes in real estate. I'm a person that really are passionate about real estate. When I go see a house, I'm looking at it gold mine every time I walked in. And I'm looking at it every single angle. How am I going to make money? How is this going to really either going to cash flow for me? Is it going to be a fix and flip? Am I going to be a quick wholesale deal? And I'm able to determine that in about 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah.
Like I have something in mind. So my goal for me is to really build rentals. We have right now 3 rentals for ourselves, My cash flow for each rental, for the 3 rentals is about, so I'm cash flowing in Capitol Heights $800. I'm going to be cash flowing in San Antonio $500. And then another in Baltimore is going to be $500. So it's close to $1,800 a month, minus whatever I spend. So I'm cash flowing close to $1,500 a month. Every month.
You're cash flowing more. You're cash flowing $1,800.
Yeah, $1,800, but minus the expenses that I like to keep aside.
Okay.
So like I say, like $1,500 a month. So like we're gonna buy more real estate, you know, because I believe on buying real estate overall.
You're cash flowing that, but you also got equity on all three of the properties, right?
Yes. So I have a lot. So like, okay, so this is the thing, you know, like my cash flow is like, okay, 1,500, but my assets, you know, like what Homes for Dinero owns, we have close to $2.5 million assets as what my company owns, beside my debt, you know, versus what I own, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So my company has 2.5 million assets, you know. So if I were to liquidate right now everything that I own, it would be close to $3 million out of my own money, you know.
Okay.
And I have only been able to do this in about a year and a half, you know. So what I was doing as I was making money is I was literally buying real estate, you know, buying real estate and flipping it, buying real estate and flipping it, you know. And that's pretty much how I was able to pretty much, you know, like triplicate my money, you know, what I initially had.
That works when the market is going up. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So eventually we're gonna get into a correction, and you have to be very careful how you're holding your assets, right? And the trick not to lose money when market corrects and goes down is not to get rid of it. If you get rid of it, you lose money, right? Yeah. Like most people that lost money back in 2008, one of the main reasons they lost money is because the property values dropped and they freaked out. Oh my God, my house is only worth now half of what it used to be worth. And they got rid of it. I was like, what? You know, now if your tenants are not paying, that's a different story, right? Because now you got more loans that you can actually, you know, take on your own, pay out of your pockets. That's, if in my opinion, 100 houses rentals, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. I think it'll be probably easier for you to go multifamily because you got them all in one area.
Well, I mean $100 by like having like either like a multifamily.
No, I agree.
You know?
But houses wise, yeah, it's a lot of them because I had 50 plus at some point, and man, that was just a freaking like every week something. So you had to come up with a property management company just to manage all those things, you know, repairs, ACs, toilets clogging, and they call you for stupid things. The bulb is not working, you know. I was like, change the bulb, you know, like Jesus Christ, you know, this is not an apartment complex. It's a house. You're supposed to take up to a couple of $150 or something. But when in between 2015 and 2017, I think I bought over $30 million worth of properties. And that's how I made most of my money at the time. It was by acquiring. But we were buying at a very discounted price because we were marketing directly to sellers, right? So I can see you doing the same. Especially if you had private money coming to you, that's how I was able to scale to flipping 50 houses at the same time, which I wouldn't do that again. But, you know, especially in a city like Houston, like because we have weather challenges here, Harveys, storms, hurricanes. You know, you lose contractors overnight. But if you're in a city probably like San Antonio, you're safer there because they don't have the same problems we do here. When it comes to going through a challenge like that, right? So, anyhow, man, thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate it, sharing your morning routine, what you're doing to be better. That's a major nugget he dropped in here. You know, how he starts his day. Most people think you don't need it, but you do. The more you focus on yourself early in the morning, the better you do. I actually don't look at my phone for the first 3 hours in the day. I don't. I only pull up YouTube if I want to listen to like a meditation or something along those lines. But I don't look at my text messages. I don't look at WhatsApp. I don't even look at WhatsApp anymore. Like, if you send me a message on WhatsApp, most likely I'm not responding. I don't even handle my Facebook or my Instagram anymore, so I don't look at it that often. Sometimes I just get on the messages because I got messages in between. Like you and I sometimes communicate through Messenger, right? But I made it a point to where I don't look at my phone for 3 hours. That's it. The thing is, you get up in the morning, and then somebody died. And that's the first thing you find out, and now your day is ruined.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, man, this guy died or something, you know, or a family member had a problem or the news. I don't even watch TV. Like the news, CNN, Fox News, I have no idea what's going on, to be honest with you. And I had a friend of mine tell me one time that that I needed to be aware of what was going on. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, why do I care for who got murdered in whatever, town here in Houston? Like, I don't, I live in a good area, so I know that area is safe. It serves me no purpose, So if anything, the news, they just, scare you, and they feed you a lot of times false information. Just call that shit out, man. Just make sure you share, like, and subscribe this podcast. Share with everybody, the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. If Armando can do it, you definitely can do it. He's not special. He's not better than anybody else. But one thing he did is he took action. He invested in himself. He continuously invests in himself. He surrounded himself with the right people as well. And like everyone else, he's made money. He's lost money too on deals that didn't go right. But he took a chance. He's betting on himself, and that's why he's a person of success today. So with that being said, guys, the Real Estate Entrepreneurs event in Mastermind, Miami, Florida, October 21st through the 24th. Armando will be there. He's one of our sponsors with Homes for Dinero. He will be on stage telling you a little bit about what he does and how he does it. And make sure you get a ticket. We got early bird tickets ending in June 30th, I believe. And I love to see you guys there. And come say hi to Armando when you're in Miami at the Real Estate Entrepreneurs event at Mastermind. You'll have a great day. Bye. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. All right.